everyone, this is Callie with Callie's Trekking Adventures. I hope that everyone is doing absolutely fantastic on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I made it about 95 miles away from where I'm going to be doing my delivery tomorrow, and I could have went a lot further and probably made it actually all the way there. I had plenty of time on my clock, but I'm going to be going down to the border here in Texas, and I'm just you know, I was talking with a friend, a very close friend, who was telling me that he also drives truck, and he was telling me that a year ago when he was down in the TA there where I'm going to be going, that he heard gunshots, you know, across the border, and I think things have gotten a whole lot more, what's a good way to say it, unpredictable down there. And so, you know, for not only the safety of myself, I'm not super scared like something's going to happen to me, although I was joking with somebody today and saying I don't want to end up with you know, having my organs taken or something like that, but in all honesty, the truck, you know, I'm also worried about the truck. I don't want the truck to get tagged, have anyone to, you know, mess with it or damage it or paint it up or steal the fuel or whatever could happen. You know, all kinds of stuff could happen. And so with that being said, I just decided to take his advice and go on ahead and park about, you know, stay about 100 miles out and just drive in the morning. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I got over here and I was able to get a shower. I'm feeling all good and refreshed. Decided to put on a little bit of makeup for you guys. I'm not a big makeup wearer. I don't wear it all the time, but it's nice to wear it every now and then, kind of make you feel that feminine side that you don't always get to feel out here. And so there's a video I just have been kind of wanting to make for quite a while. It's a subject matter that you know, I've heard a lot of controversy about on both sides, and I just, you know, have 5 suggestions or thoughts that I have that could potentially make the training experience a lot more positive and easier to get through as when you decide to be a truck driver. You know, I was apprehensive for a long time about becoming a truck driver, and the main reason why I was so apprehensive was honestly the training experience. I knew it wasn't going to be an easy thing to accomplish or to get through, but I knew that it was something that was going to be very necessary to get through. So I got really lucky. My TNT or my PSD trainer, you know, we had some ups and downs, but all in all, he wasn't a bad guy. I've said that before. He wasn't a bad guy. I think that he meant very well. I just think that he was new to training, and I was only the second person that he had ever trained before, and I just think he needed to probably work on his technique and his approach and his delivery and those kinds of things, and I'm sure he's probably done very well with the people that he's trained going forward. As I've mentioned before, if you've seen those videos, I'm sure that just as I learned from him, he probably learned from me too. So and then when it comes to my TNT trainer, I had the most amazing trainer anyone could ever have. I was blessed, very much so, and so I am super grateful for that. But it's still, I'm very aware of, you know, what it does take to have a positive experience. I've trained before. I'm not trained in this aspect, but for the healthcare job I used to have, one of my roles that I played is I would train. I would train our new hires. I also would train, I've done the new hire orientation training, and then I also had done one-on-one training when I was training a person to start to work for a site, and I also did coaching and retraining and things like that as well. So, you know, sometimes it can be not only frustrating for the person who is being trained, but it also can be very frustrating for the person that is training as well, especially if there's bad attitude and things like that involved with the whole situation. So like I said, when it comes to TNT and PSD, I'm definitely not an expert, but I just have 5 suggestions that might make if you're going to come and if you're going to become a truck driver, this is what you're going to have to go through to get there. And you know, Prime's training is probably a little bit more excessive than other training programs are. I know that it's a little bit longer, although in some cases maybe not long enough. And so I know that when you decide to make this move, this is what you're going to have to go through this training. So I'm going to start off with so here's my 5 suggestions, just my point of view on this. So the first number 1 is clear expectations. I think that you need to be really clear about what you're coming into and what this really is all about, and what it is that you expect to get out of the whole process. And also, if there's something that you really need to have, or you know, some different approach, or maybe you learn better this way or that way, or whatever the case may be, I think that not only do you need to have clear expectations about what you are going to get out of this experience, but you also need to set your expectations with your trainer. I think that most people are probably, I mean, I've heard some horror stories about trainers, but I also know we have a lot of really amazing trainers out here, and amazing people that they really just want to help. That's their true intention, is to help and to try to make better drivers, and to try to pay it forward and give back what they received. And so I think that if you will be, you know, just tell them, hey, this is what I need. Is there, you know, any way that you could accommodate this? You know, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're like me and you wanted to have showers every day, or you know, maybe you're going to need to maybe there's some people, including myself, where, you know, it's probably a little bit TMI, but you know what? Oh well, it's all about transparency here. So I've been accused of being very candid before. So, you know, I have an overreactive bladder, and so you know, if I don't dehydrate the heck out of myself, then I do have to use the bathroom. And so, you know, during my PSD, I knew what I was coming into, and so I was determined that no matter what it took, I was going to get through this. And I knew that when it was all said and done, I would be able to do whatever it is that I had gave up. So for me, I gave up coffee. For my PSD training, I gave up coffee. I only drank coffee when we had our resets, and I knew that if I was going to be driving, and I was, and with him I always was driving, but I knew that on the days that actually we were driving, which was most of the days, I did not drink coffee. I chose to do other things, like 5-hour energy, and I would rather have drank my water and been able to, you know, get my hydration that way rather than do the coffee. With my TNT trainer, you know, he was so amazing and flexible, and I didn't feel like, you know, I was able to drink my coffee every day. But you know, but so if that's it, you know, maybe you need to have your coffee, maybe you need to have caffeine, or maybe you you know, I don't know, it depends on what it is that you need. You know, maybe you need a certain, like I said, a certain approach. But anyway, just, you know, be clear about what it is that you expect, and also be clear with them about what could make this process easier for you. The second thing is motivation and the desire to learn. You know, if you can't come out here and expect, you know, you have to be motivated. You have to be motivated to learn. This isn't only about learning to drive the truck. There's a lot more to it than just driving the truck. There is, you know, with my trainers, both of them, I jumped out. No one had to tell me to clean the windows. It's part of what we do. We clean the windows. The windows have got to be cleaned. You can't expect your trainers to clean the windows for you. You need to jump out and do it yourself. With both of my trainers, I obviously cleaned the windows, and with my TNT trainer, I would even clean the windows before he was going to drive, and he cleaned the windows for me too. But it was just a respect thing, you know. I wanted him to be able to start off with a nice clean windshield that I had gotten dirty while I was driving, and you know, take out the garbage. Also, you know, you have little garbage bags and things, whatever the case may be. Do your part. Don't just expect your trainer to do everything for you. You know, do it yourself. You know, take responsibility and jump in. Do what needs to be done to try to make this as comfortable as possible for both of you. You're living in a very, very, very small space. You are, you know, that person is giving up a lot. You have no idea what they're really sacrificing. We're sacrificing, but they're sacrificing as well. So, you know, be motivated. And, you know, when you have downtime, like with the PSD training, you know, you're going to be, at that time, you're going to be learning how to get ready to take your CDL exam. And so take it upon yourself to practice your pre-trips, you know. When you know, don't wait for them to tell you to do it. Jump out and do it on your own. You know, don't wait. Don't expect them to come with you. And actually, I actually did better when my trainer wasn't right there with me. He would come with me and kind of, you know, go over things a little bit later, but I would actually go through it multiple times on my own. And then, you know, when he would come and walk, you know, kind of just coach me on it or test me on it, then that was fine as well. But I didn't need him or expect him to hold my hand and just be there with me every time that I did the pre-trip. You know, of course I wanted to make sure I was doing it right and all those good things, but you know, I didn't, you know, like I said, just take ownership of this process a little bit yourself. And the third, so that was my second thing. I'm probably not, you know, getting a little off subject or whatever, or not staying totally on track of the numbers, but I'll try to do better. So the third suggestion is have respect and consideration for your trainer, and for, like I said, for the fact that they are giving up a lot to train you. They are giving up their home. This is their home. This is my home. This is where I live. I'm here far more than I am at my home. And you know, it's a very small space, and there's like I said, you know, clean up after yourself. Don't expect them to clean up for you. Take some responsibility, and don't. There's certain things that, you know, maybe you don't discuss. Don't discuss things that are tend to kind of cause arguments and things like that, or discomfort. You know, there's some things, you know, that people just don't agree on, and you know, some of those things are politics, religion, views and outlooks on what's going on in the world. You know, there's a time and place for everything, and this is probably maybe not that time and place. You know, if you guys agree on things, then I guess that's fine, discuss it. But if you don't, this is an awfully small space to start to get agitated at one another, or frustrated, or angry, or defensive, or whatever the case may be, over those subject matters that definitely do tend to kind of rub people the wrong way, especially more so the last couple of years than I think has happened for a very long time. And so, you know, also just, you know, like I said, be considerate. Make sure that, you know, I wanted to go back to motivation for just a second. I'm sorry. So, you know, with the motivation thing, you know, I had my trainer, my PSD trainer, had told me that he had always had to wake up his student and tell them that it was their turn to drive, or tell them, not even their turn to drive, because you got to, you know, when the PSD, you're driving the whole time pretty much, but he would have to wake them up. You know, set your own alarm, wake yourself up, and you know, get ready, do whatever you need to do. If you're a person that needs to start your day off, you know, have a little bit of time before you actually get in the driver's seat and get up and going, you know, make sure you plan for that accordingly. So, all right, so back to respect and consideration. Yeah, just like I said, guys, realize that, you know, it isn't all about you. It's also about them and what they're going, you know, what they are putting themselves through. Not everyone is the easiest to train, and not everyone learns as fast as other people. Some people, you know, definitely need a different approach. Some people need to be, you know, kind of coddled and, you know, have a more gentler approach, where other people need to have, you know, what, like, might need to have more stern approach, or have, you know, somebody be a little bit more aggressive with them. So, you know, just understand that they're trying to figure out what's going to work for you. Not everyone's the same, and I know my TNT trainer, he was amazing, and he's really good at that, and he's trained a lot of people, and I'm sure that gives him a huge advantage. But he's very good at figuring out what approach that person needs. So try to understand that, you know, maybe they're trying to figure out what it is going to work best for you. And you know, if there is an issue, try to talk it out. Try to just, you know, gently say, you know, whatever it is that's bothering you, and, you know, see if you guys can work it out. You know, in addition to that, you know, I've heard stories about students like taking pictures or filming their trainer or whatever the case may be, and, you know, kind of, I mean, that's not cool. It's just not cool. I mean, if you've got an issue, you know, just tell them about it. Don't, I mean, unless it's just totally out of line and totally just inappropriate or whatever the case may be. Okay, I get that, whatever. But I'm just not one of those people that runs and tells on people anyways. I try to work it out myself. Even in my medical job, if somebody rubbed me the wrong way, I could go and I could have told on them, and I could, you know, get things done if I really had to. But it wasn't my approach, and that's not the way that I like to handle things. I know we're all different, but I'm just saying, try to treat people the way that you would want to be treated. That's my #1 motto. I try to keep that in mind. Even, you know, when I had frustrating patients or had, you know, that sometimes I did, I would, you know, try to remember that they are, you know, somebody's mother or father or sister or brother or uncle or aunt, and or son or daughter, and you know, that I know I wouldn't want to be, you know, treated however they were treating me or whatever the case may be. And so, you know, just try to switch up how you react, or how you respond to things, and, you know, don't get so defensive, and try to just be open. This is not an easy industry to be in, and as you go on and as you get more experience out here, if you're thin-skinned at all, you're definitely going to start getting more tougher skinned. I am getting more tougher skinned. I am not an easily offended person. I have been through a lot of crap in my lifetime. So, you know, those things have set me up to kind of be stronger than the average person, probably, I suppose. I don't take offense really easily, and but, you know, just try to understand that this is, in all honesty, a pretty rough industry to be in. Like I said in my previous video, you will get treated like crap. I mean, it's not all the time. There's a lot of really great people out here, but I have, you know, ran into some really crummy receivers, some really crummy shippers, some really crummy drivers, you know, mutual drivers. Sometimes women can be really catty for whatever reason out here, and you would think that, you know, it'd be different than that. We're all out here together. It's all, you know, when I see another female, I try to address them and, you know, show them respect and be like, hey, sisterhood, but it's not always that way. And so, especially if you're a female out here, you know, be prepared that there's gonna be, you just gotta, like I said, just kind of realize what you're stepping into here. So then when it comes to my 4th suggestion is to try to have a positive attitude. So, you know, try to be positive about what's going on. Try not to be negative. Try not to be grumpy. Try not to be, you know, hostile or rude or any of those things. You know, try to put a smile on your face and try to just approach the day. There was some days that I was just like, oh, it's more so with my my PSD trainer. I never really felt this way with my TNT trainer, but there was days where I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm tired. I am, you know, just not feeling this very much, and, you know, I am just wanting to be grumpy, but I'd have to kind of have a talk with myself and a pep talk, and, you know, just say, you know what's that going to do for you? How's that going to help this situation? You're both in this, you know, truck together. You're in a really small space, and so having a negative attitude is not going to make this any easier for either of you. So, you know, you need to just, you know, buck it up and put on your big girl panties, and you need to just, you know, try to switch this around and have a positive outlook and a positive approach. This is going to be over. Eventually, it really is going to be over. And so, you know, try to be positive, guys. Try to just realize that, you know, they're probably doing the best that they can possibly do. And, you know, if they aren't, just try to understand where maybe they're coming from as well. So then my 5th suggestion is patience. Try to be patient. Try to be patient with them. Be patient with yourself. I am like I've said before, I'm an overachiever. I tend to want to run before I can. I tend to want to walk before I can crawl, and run before I walk. And so I have to be patient with, like I said, with myself, but be patient with them as well, and understand that, you know, there's some things that, you know, they, like I said, some of them are just out here doing this for their first or second time. It can't be easy. I don't think it can be easy to try to tell someone else how to drive this darn truck, try to tell someone else how to back. And I think that was one of the biggest problems that my PSD trainer had, is that he wasn't totally comfortable with telling me, or telling me how to back. And, you know, he had learned to back when he was young. His father taught him to back, and so he had started backing trailers and boats and, you know, RVs and things like that when he was really young. Well, I myself, I had never really backed. I had backed like a panel truck before, but I've never backed one of these before. So trying to explain it to somebody and help them understand and grasp the whole concept of it, you know, everyone learns from different approaches and different ways. So just try to understand that, you know, they're probably trying their hardest to try to help you get what you need to get. The other thing I want to say about being patient is that, you know, when you finish your training, you know, you're not always able to just jump right off the truck. Sometimes it's going to take, you know, a week or more, especially with the way that things have been going at Prime. You know, we've got an overabundance of people that are graduating training, and there's not as many trucks available. There's been a back order on everything. And so, you know, you may be stuck on your trainer's truck for anywhere, you know, from a few extra days to a couple extra weeks. It could be it could be up to 1,000 more miles that you're going to be stuck on there. But just don't take it out on them. It's not their fault. They are, trust me, probably ready to get you on to your next phase just as much as you're ready to get on to your next phase. So, you know, I've heard that, you know, sometimes when people finish their training, their attitude changes, they get short, they aren't very patient, they, you know, even accuse I guess I'm going to say it. They accuse their trainer of making money off of them, and that, you know, they're ready to get on their own truck and make their own money. Well, I don't know how many of you really realize this, but in all honesty, the trainer is paying they're paying your wages. So that $900 that you are earning every week to drive the truck, they're paying that. They're paying that whether or not they have a profitable week or they don't. That money is coming out of their check before anything else happens. So, you know, try to understand that, and try to just try to come at it from a different approach. Try to realize this isn't going to be like any other job you've ever had before, and the training experience isn't going to be like any other training experience you've ever had before. This is, you know, like I said, you're coming onto this truck, you're both living here together in this really small space, and if, you know, just try to do your part. Try to do what you can do to try to make it as positive as you can from your end, and more than likely, they'll probably do the same. There are situations where, you know, the trainer is maybe just absolutely terrible. Maybe they're burnt out. Maybe they just are in here for the money only. And, you know, they're dirty, they're negative, they are messy, they are creepy, whatever the case may be. You know, I don't know. And if it's something that just can't be worked out, then, you know, definitely reach out to your fleet manager, or, you know, if whoever you feel like is, you know, going to be able to help you, get someone else to work with, or get a different trainer, or whatever the case may be. You know, definitely reach out. But if it's something that can be worked out, is something that you know, is a small issue, definitely try to work it out with them. You know, don't put a bad taste in their mouth, you know, because however you treat that trainer, it could very well fall over to their next trainer, their next trainee, and the experience that that person has. You know, sometimes people just have been burned by other people, and they can be closed off, and they can be negative, and they can be apprehensive about what it is, you know, about their experience with you, and, you know, just think, oh, well, this person's going to treat me the same way that the other person treat me, so they're already on the defensive before it even starts. So I'm just saying, guys, you know, try to look at this as a two-way street, not just all about you, and not just all about what you're going to get out of it. Let's try to make this a learning experience for both of you and make it as positive as possible. Well, with that being said, thank you for listening to me rant. If you know, I definitely haven't meant to offend anyone, and I'm only trying to give out some positive ideas and thoughts to make this an easier process, because, you know, like I said, getting through this training process isn't the easiest thing in the world, but I also want you to know that, you know, the 30,000 miles that we do here at Prime isn't necessarily enough, and there's so many things that I've encountered since I've been out here on my own that I did not encounter during my training experience, either my PSD training or my TNT training. And as much as your trainer is going to try to get you prepared to do your job on your own, you're going to have things that you never even saw, never even thought of, and you're going to have to figure it out. And so just try to, you know, like I said, realize that first of all, the training, the learning is not going to end as soon as this training, your training ends. And you know, you get into it what you get out of it what you put into it, in my opinion, in anything in life. You know, however you react and you respond to it is probably how your experience is going to be. So with that being said, I am over here in Texas. I'm going to go try to find me some good Mexican food, one of my very favorite types of food, and I am going to come on back to the truck after that. I'm going to try to take a little walk. Hopefully it doesn't rain on me, and I'm going to come back to the truck, try to get some stuff done, and then crash out and get ready to take off at about, I think I'm probably going to head out at about 3:30 in the morning and get down to my stop by trying to get down there by 6, an hour early. I always try to be at least an hour early. I'd like to be earlier, but I also want to have time on my clock to get the heck out of here tomorrow with the load. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for all of your support and your comments and your feedback and your suggestions and all of that great stuff. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. And oh, let me not forget this. As always, guys, spread love, kindness, compassion, consideration, peace, inclusion, respect, and blessed thoughts and well wishes of blessings and good things for your brothers and sisters, instead of those ugly, nasty things that are plaguing our world. And do something good for yourself to make your heart happy and your soul smile. Have a positive attitude, and be a light, be a shining light in the world. You know, be what you want to see the world be, if that makes sense. I don't think I said that right, but anyway, hopefully you get what I'm saying. All right, guys, laters. Thank you. Peace out. Bye.